In this video, I'm going to talk about how to read music for the first time. So, as we said in one of the earlier videos, there are 4 strings, G, D, A and E. Now each one of those notes are represented in music by a little dot with a little stem, and they live on 5 lines called the stave, and then there's a thing called the key signature at the very beginning, and the time signature, and then the stave, which is the little curly thing which looks like a cat with a little tail hanging underneath. So I'd really recommend that you do a little bit of music theory. I've made a little sheet called Music Theory Fact Sheet number 1, which you can download from my website. So that will give you the nuts and bolts about how to read music. But what we're going to do in lessons is we're going to use the violin note chart. The note chart of a violin, it's called. And that's also on my website as well. So you'll see that there are 4 columns of notes. So in the first column, that deals with all the notes in the G string. So the very first note is written right at the bottom of the stave. The stave is those 5 lines and 4 spaces. So great way to remember the names of those is think of this. So you got every good boy deserves football. So those are the 5 lines, and then the 4 spaces in between are F-A-C-E, so the word face. But the note G is actually written on special lines called ledger lines, and it's really low. If you think of the stave like rungs of a ladder, you see that it's actually, the rungs go really deep, like down a big hole. So it's resting below the second little extra rung, deep down in a hole. And then later on, if you look at the E string, the last note, that's actually a really high note that's got its own little tiny little ledger line. The note A, the 4th note of the E string, and it's sitting really, really high. So if notes are really low on the stave, on the rung of a ladder, it means that the notes sound low. They're very low. And then the A, the note on the E string, 3rd finger in the E string, that's very high. See, that's very low. That's the lowest note we're going to deal with, and this is the highest note that we're going to deal with. So at the beginning, you only really need to know 4 notes. So all of the notes on the music have names, and that's why we remember the lines and the spaces. But they're not like Jeffrey and Heidi and Matilda, not like those sorts of names. They're actually named after letters of the alphabet. But in the musical alphabet, we only have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then we go all the way back to the beginning again, and that just mirrors what a piano keyboard looks like. So the names of the notes are going to, there are only going to be 7 of them, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, which is really, really good. So the very first note that we're going to learn is the first note on the column, on the top column, which is the note G. And you know that we don't use our fingers for that because it has a 0. Okay? Now, if you look down from that, you see the note D. So that's a little bit higher up in the stave, isn't it? It's just below the first rung of the ladder, and that's called the note D. And there it is there. If you look down to the next line, you'll see that that's the note A, and that's written on the 2nd space. Remember, F-A-C-E. So that's the note A, and that's this note. And then the last note is the note E, and that's written on the 4th space. So it's going to be F-A-C-E. So that's our E string. So try and remember, first of all, what the names of the strings are, but also try and get really fast at recognizing those notes in a piece of music. So the first way that we do this, the best way, is that we play the notes in the note chart every single day. So it's really important that you actually look at the music and you try and recognize what the note G looks like in music, so that you're able to play it quickly, and for the other notes as well. So in whatever it is that you play, always keep this little note chart beside you. So the very first tune that you're going to play, which involves reading music as such, is St. Anthony's Chorale, which is number 3 in Vamoosh Book 1. So in that we have some open string notes. So I'll just turn to that now. And so it starts off on an open string D. So that's there. And then there's a rest, and then there's another D, and then there's a rest, and then what note does it change to? It changes to a G. And if you look at that note and you go, I cannot remember what that note is, then all you do is you look at the note chart, at the first 4 notes, the first column of notes going down vertically, not horizontally, vertically going down. And those are the 4 open string notes. You know they're open because there's a little 0 there. And you see, oh, the very first note in the note chart is the note G. And what you do is you just go all the way through St. Anthony's Chorale and you work out the notes. So in this piece we have D's, G's and A's, but we don't have any E's. So you've only got 3 notes to choose from in St. Anthony Chorale. So it's really, really easy peasy. As I said, watch out for the little crotchet rests. So the rhythm goes like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So have fun with that. The next few tunes in the book just use the open strings. Later on we'll talk about the stop notes in the note chorale. So those are the ones that you put your fingers down to play, and those are indicated by the numbers 1, 2 and 3. But for the moment, just focus on the 4 open string notes of the note chart. So have fun with that. Fiddly bye bye.